This is the Italian diction for Se Florindo e Fedele, and hopefully you have the PDF of my sort of mixture of IPA and some just common symbols that I like to use. I don't like to introduce every little bit of IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, to people when they first are starting to learn IPA. So I'm just giving you a few symbols that you can really, some of them are just really straightforward and they're easy to remember, and some of them you just really need them because there's no other way, no other good way to write it. So on the PDF that you have received, there's a key to the top left that kind of scrolls down, and I just want to go over those symbols. The first symbol is this 3, this backwards 3, and it is for an vowel, a very open E. Now it's an open E, but it's not a lazy E. It's not like that. There's still an activation of the cheeks. It's like you're smiling while you're saying pet or of any sort, any vowel of any word. So keep that in mind. We're not going to really just relax everything. We're still going to keep things in this general area that stays really nice and beautiful for Italian. The next symbol is a really good E, like a grade school E, and that's for a closed E, like the word take. And we go back and forth with those symbols a lot, with those sounds a lot. And I have to say, when you're singing or sometimes it's hard to hear the difference. So do the best you can. It doesn't have to be super exaggerated. Those are that's splitting hairs a lot of the time. So don't worry too much about those. It's nice to know which one is which though. The next two symbols are my idea. I really like this. The small lowercase r means to flip the R. So the word Florindo has a flipped R. It's like a D sound, Florindo. And then if you have a rolled R later, it'll be connected with a consonant or at the end of a word. Let me see if I can find one. It's gonna be rolled. Here's the measure 41 into 42, potrà. That has more than one flip. It's a roll. Now, if you don't feel like you can do the roll yet, that's okay. You can still sing in Italian. You just need to give a little bit more space in between the T and the R. Potrà. It'll sound like ta-da every time you do it. And usually, if you do that for a while, you'll probably be able to do the roll, the real roll, after you try it for a while. Okay, going back to the key, we have an O as in boat, and we have an open O, which is just an O that's not all the way around. The circle's not all the way around. It looks like a backwards C, and that's like bought, that word. I err toward the side of awe most of the time. You might not even hear the difference in my O and my aw. I really like to keep things open. So if you feel like being more exaggerated than I am on the O versus the ah, please go right ahead. But I kind of don't care about that as much as other sounds in Italian. And then the last one is my idea. That was IPA back there, by the way. But this one is my version. It's the G sound versus the J sound of G, and we pronounce it in both ways in Italian. And so I thought of just doing 2 G's to make a G sound. If you want to think of the word Google, you have 2 G's there that sound like that G. It's a hard G, they call it, versus a soft G, which is J. So just use those if you want to. I've written it all throughout. Use it if you want to, or make up your own, or if you already know IPA, please feel free to put in the correct IPA as you go. I'm going to pause and start a new video, and I will give you all of the Italian diction for all of this. It's really not that much, so it's going to be fun.